And the root causes of inflation are very clear. We know without any question that the war in Ukraine, supply chain issues, and corporate greed are all driving up the cost of things. So how is increasing...
Welcome to the A News Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it helps out with the YouTube algorithm to help keep this channel going for more content like this.
Big oil and gas are profiteering from the inflation. They're making record profits all the while Canadians are faced with energy prices which will increase on average between 50 and 100%.
That was 2 years ago when Jagmeet and Trudeau were pretending that they were opposition or disputing against each other. But what happened after that 2 years? It just kept going up. So nothing, absolutely nothing was fixed. And it just kept going up on and on. They didn't solve anything either. Let's have a listen of what Jagmeet thinks is causing inflation. Definitely, 100%. Let's have a listen what he has to say.
We absolutely need to combat inflation. But if the Bank of Canada's approach has nothing to do with the root causes of inflation and it's only going to cause pain for Canadians, then we've got to question why is that the approach they're taking when there's no evidence for that approach? Why create more pain for Canadians when that is not going to address the root causes of the inflation? And
after all that time, is it really the cause of inflation Russian war? What happened to that $10 billion? That was all on the credit line of Canada, for example. That's where it was from that we found out after. And also the other one, supply chain. Well, supply chain, like, that doesn't mean anything anymore with the supply chain issue. And also the last one, which is corporate greed. I wonder what corporate greed, since what Trudeau increased the operational expense of the government by, what, 25%? Like, does anyone even account for that? Or the ArriveCan app or all the other, what Catherine McKenna, she did nearly $1 billion, I believe, in unaccounted for in projects. Do you think that has anything to do with the inflation that is caused? And which corporate greed exactly? Because it looks like a corporation of the Trudeau Foundation. Let's continue.
Home heating in Canada is essential. If the Prime Minister wanted to, he could today make a difference in the lives of Canadians for this upcoming winter. Will he remove GST from home heating and provide support to Canadians, yes or no?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we are directly helping Canadians with 11 million households with a doubling of the GST rebate that is going to help them with hundreds of dollars as they approach this winter to be able to cover the costs of various bills. We're also stepping up with support for Canadians who need dental care for their kids under 12. We're stepping up with support for low-income renters. We're going to continue to be there for Canadians, including with a price on pollution that puts more money back in Canadians' pockets in the provinces where it's being imposed. This is how we stick up for Canadians.
Let's look at some takeaways here with the carbon tax. And it will go up April 1st. That's in 2 months. So 2024, $80, $15 a year. And this is something when they said triple, the Liberals played dumb. Like, no, it's not. And it is. And they do that a lot. And I don't understand. Well, I do understand. They don't want to have the shock, the sticker shock, to see that happens. And they don't do that before an election. They will just ignore it as much as possible and just distract with something else. Now, the other example here of the double GST. Well, when Trudeau said a couple hundred, he did mean a couple hundred, $234, with couples with 2 children receive an extra $500 a year. Well, a qualification for that GST, and here is the qualifications on the screen here. A married or common law couple with 2 children you have to make $59,000 net. So it's that's in Canada. That's it's very difficult to do that with that kind of money. So I don't know how many people are in this bucket, but I'll take a guess, 300,000. I'm not really sure, but we have to wonder too, when the Liberals say something for years, like 4 or 5 years, keep bringing it up, the double GST, how many people are they actually talking about is really something that they don't bring up for a very good reason. It's one of those 80-20% rules. Is it 20% of, say it's actually, I would think 5% of the people, but you say it 90% of the time? Like, you got to just use that as a sales pitch That's what it almost seems like. Even with here, the dentist, and the NDP is the one that held the feet to the fire for Trudeau to do the dentistry. Like, that's how it happened. $8 billion is nothing for Trudeau to print to stay in power an extra 2 years. Nothing. But this $650, in Ontario, they have that Smiles program. So small kids can get their teeth done anyways. I'm not sure. That's why it's always a provincial thing, and that's why Pierre doesn't seem to be on board with it so much, because it is a provincial issue, not a federal one. But Jagmeet has to make it a federal one because that's his, that's his shtick. That's why he's in power. And Trudeau's get to brag about it all the time. There's lots of examples of the Liberals saying that we're the ones that did the dental for 12 and under or whatever. But it's, they're bragging about something that they were forced to do. Let's be honest about it. And Jagmeet is too weak to actually say anything anymore because it's already gone. He's just like a big nothing. And the last one here, the carbon tax pricing generate net loss for most households. And there's always this conflict. The Liberals say stuff that it's going to do more than you get back, and then reality sits in, and there seems to be a huge disconnect between that. And I don't understand why that can be so blatantly ignorant is really something that's really, really scary of why they always do that. And, you can be evil or willfully ignorant and all that, but like at the end of the day, they want to stay in power as long as possible. And if you want, we can hear one other thing here too, is the carbon tax. All it is a tax the more you tax something like soda pop, the less you'll drink it, supposedly, right? That's all it is. It's the most basic need in the world, if like liquor, you don't want people to drink so much, you just charge more tax. You make them hurt more. That's all that it is. And they never seem to really understand that, or they don't want to talk about it. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.
And we know that prices are going to go up even more when they triple the carbon tax. So an easy way to help Canadians with the cost of living crisis that the costly coalition has caused is to cancel their plans to triple the carbon tax. Will they do?
Minister of Tourism.
Madam Speaker, in the middle of a global pandemic, with heat in the air caused by global warming, the residents of Edmonton Centre, in the middle of the last election, said to me, please fight climate change. The number one thing every day on the doors. We've already got a 9% reduction in emissions in 2020. The plan is working, but I can tell you, Madam Speaker, the number one thing that the Conservative opposition could do to help Canadians is to vote for C-31.
I just want to remind members, I was able to clearly hear the official opposition House Leader a while ago, but I was happy.
Madam Speaker, the number one thing that the Conservative opposition could do to help Canadians is to vote for C-31.
I just want to remind members, I was able to clearly hear the official opposition House Leader a while ago, but I was happy.